Hey, how's it going? So I'm gonna be doing how to create an input field with a debounce function. So the idea is that you see, so once the client stops typing, only then the request goes to the API. So as opposed to, like, you see, that's one request, second request, third request, right? We're using debounce for a single request. So as soon as he stops typing, only one request goes in, right? So we're taking advantage of the bounce function and an input. Okay, so I'm gonna build it step by step. So just follow me on this. Okay, so what you need is a component. We're gonna be using a functional component. Import use effect, use state, use callback. You will also need to use Axios and Lodash. So you need to install them into your dependencies. So just go to terminal, you know the drill, npm install Axios space Lodash. I'm gonna link this in the description below, so that's gonna be our API. So the API is very, very simple. You see, it returns a list of drinks based on the string that you input, right? So you put in M, it will search, and it will give you the name that has a character M in it, right? So we use martini. You'll be able to see that it will have. I'm gonna link this API in the description below as well, so you'll be able to see it. So that's effectively what we're gonna be using. And debounce, I'll put it for 2 seconds, so you'll be able to see. The most important in here is the debounce function. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna build an input field. That's what I'm gonna do. So let's do input, and then we'll put the horizontal line in here. Okay. Alright, so what's the best way to do it? Okay. So on change, we're gonna do E, which is event. And then we're gonna create our debounce function. So we're gonna run debounce function, and we're gonna pass E target value in here. Actually, no. We're gonna pass E like this. Event, I think, right? Or we can possibly do E target value as well. Well, let's just do it this way first. Oh, my apologies, like I've been up for almost 19 hours now, so okay, so we're gonna do const debounce fun equal to Lodash debounce and then here we're gonna have the function that we want to run. So let's call it. You can actually go to docs, just type Lodash debounce and it will give you the docs. So here we're gonna have function. We can put probably string. And then we need to put the delay, which is gonna be debounce delay. Well, let's just put whatever to 2000, right? And then let's just console log string. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, so there you go. So now you see if we so let's say test, and now it works. Okay, so let's just explain the code a little bit, what happens. Alright, so when you type something into it, this debounce function gets called, right? So if you just look at the code of debounce function, every time you call it, it cancels the previous set timeout, right? So that timeout is 2 seconds, right? So let's say we click on A, key A, right? Let's just click on key A. So after 2 seconds, A is going to appear, you see? So let's click it again. 1000, 1000, A appears, right? So now if we type AD, right, AD is gonna appear after 2 seconds, right? So look, 1000, 1000. Because A, as we typed A, then because we pressed D, the A key got cancelled. You can think about it as every time you press a key, a 2-second timeout starts, and after 2 seconds, the function will output. Right? So it will output after 2 seconds whatever is in here. If you press the key again, it cancels the previous request and starts the new timeout. Right? So after 2 seconds, whatever you typed, and so forth. Right? And that's it. That's kind of the bounce function, how it works. Alright, now, the only nuance I'd say is that because we are running React, we need to wrap it in use callback. Otherwise, we can create a infinite loop, basically. Because if component re-renders, the debounce function will be recreated, and that can cause problems. So remember that when you're working with React, if you have a function, any function, it has to be in either use callback or in use memo. Otherwise, you're gonna be, you could be stuck in a infinite loop. Okay, so now let's test, make sure it works. Now, it honestly should. Now, there's two ways to do it. You can do it either E target value in here, or you can put E in here, and then E in here, and then E target value. But honestly, it's much easier, I think. Okay. So now what do we need? We need to make sure... Yeah. So what do we need? We need to create a function that will populate data. Okay, so let's create a... Now from here, it's standard React stuff. We are creating, so it's going to be null. Alright, so the first thing we want to do, we want to get rid of the... actually, let's just do this. Get data. and then string. So this is going to be passed into this as a string. So now we need to create a synchronous function. Actually, we'll do it this way. Get data. So it's going to be const get data equals async it's going to be our string, and then we're going to have const request Axios get items API plus string. Const response and then we need, oh whoopsie, this needs to be a wait. Await request, I think it's data, and then when API comes in it starts with drink and then it's array, so we need to put the drinks in here, I think, right? I just console log response, let's see what happens. So when we type mar after 2 seconds, we should get a, yeah. So that's all drinks that correspond to mar. Okay, perfect. Yeah, okay. So we need to get rid of data when this input field is empty. But we can deal with that later. Okay, so this is working now. Now we need to just set data to response, basically. Okay, so now let's just map through the data. So if data is true and length is bigger than 0, we want to do data.map element. Let's just do, what do we need from it? We need ID drink and then string drink equals element. I just destructured it so it will be easier to work with it. We're basically taking this for key, because in React you need a key, and then name is gonna be the whatever we're gonna display in the HTML canvas. So we're gonna return, should we go for a div or, yeah, let's just do div. And then here we're gonna go string drink and then key is gonna be this ID drink. Okay. So now in theory, if we should type, it should appear, right? In here. Okay, cool. Now the problem we have is if we delete, yeah, you see, we want to get rid of this. So if it's empty, we want data to be null. So this will not get displayed. So this we need to put a condition then in here, because the bounce function is running first, remember. So if string, remember that this string is target value, right? is equal to this. Then we want to basically set data to null, and then we want to return. So because we're mapping the data, we're setting this to null and just exiting the function, and that's about it. That's all we're doing. So this should get rid of this. If it's empty, it should not be. And that's about it, yeah. Yeah, okay. So now you can add like effects if you want. So for example, let's say while it's fetching, let's pull a border around input, right? So let's say const is loading, set is loading, oops, equals use state, let's do false. Okay, so as soon as we start typing in here, we're gonna set loading to true, and then let's style as well. So we'll just put like this, style. So if loading is true, we want to put border, let's do 3 pixels solid red, else nothing. Whoops. Else null. Okay, so as soon as we start typing, it should turn red, right? Okay. Oh. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Wait, why is it not turning? Oh, wait a second. Huh. So input field is loading. Hello? 1 second, I need to, my hands free is off. Yes? I'm doing really good. What about you?
Thanks so much for your application. I think you'd apply for one of my positions. I think it was a front end role. Are you free for a quick chat?
Yes?
Great. Okay, cool. So I suppose you're actively looking, is it? Or what's your current situation?
Yes, I just started looking.
Okay, cool. And are you currently, are you employed somewhere, or did you leave your previous role? I think were you at DQ Network? Is that what that was called?
Yes. Well, I'm actively looking. I just took holidays
Okay.
to find a role, basically. That's what I'm doing.
Ah, okay, grand. And so, I suppose, are you looking for, is it a front end position, or ideally what would you be looking for?
Front end position. I can do full stack,
Okay,
but
yeah,
it depends on the technologies.
yeah. What kind of technology would you be strongest with?
TypeScript, JavaScript, React, Redux.
Very good. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, Node.js.
Yeah, okay, okay, cool. Perfect.
Okay, so I'm back. Alright, so now we have alright, so set loading to true. So when we're typing, right, when we're typing, yeah, I just need to make the border a bit fatter. Otherwise, just maybe 8. Then it should work. Yeah, you see. So if we restart, we have no border. Okay. So once the fetching has finished, we need to get rid of the loading. Basically, that's what we need to do. So we're gonna put set is loading to false, basically. Okay, so this should get rid of the border when the data is fetched, right? And another thing we need to remember is that we need to put use callback. Use callback in here with no dependency. Yeah, because remember this is React and we want to make sure that this function here is not being recreated between renders. Okay, cool. And now let's just do maybe cursor, so we can click on them, and then when we click, it will show this in alert. This is just we're doing it for shits and giggles, honestly. So this is going to be on click equals this alert drink, and then let's just style cursor pointer, I think, like this. Are there any errors? No? No errors, okay. Okay, so we have one bug, which is this thing needs to be set to use loading false, like this. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, dogs, so that's the tutorial, and I will leave this in the description below, the API, because this is like the most important. And then that's about it. Take care. Oh yeah, and I'll just maybe put a link into the code in the description as well. Take care, bye bye.